It's Minner. On a mission for peace. My own peace. It's been a tough few weeks. We've all had them. Life starts and then it ends. You lose people you love, you lose pets you love. It can derail you. I'm not going to waste time on the details, but everyone who breathes out there knows exactly what I mean. Sometimes when you lose someone or something, it comes one after the other. In this case, it came in a tandem. And the point is not to vent to anybody out there, but to let you know that you can't seek peace. Remove yourself from sitting in a corner, put yourself in the sunshine, close your face in a helmet where no one can see you. It's okay to cry on a motorcycle, but don't let the tears get in your way, or else someone's going to be crying over you. So I'm on a mission today to seek some peace. We're gonna head east, we're gonna find some canyons. I'm too nauseous to eat at home. But maybe after a good ride, we can find some food out here too. So I'm gonna have some interesting videos coming out pretty soon, namely on a new bike. I was looking for something that was better at touring, but not quite your classic touring bike. There are so many different perspectives out there about what kind of bike is best to tour on, and so many options. I mean, you can turn anything into a touring bike. You can turn a Super Sport into a touring bike if you want to. And there are so many different options. So where I'm coming from is there's two types of riding I do. There's this type of ride, which is perfectly appropriate for this bike, or even a more classic sport bike. When you head out east away from the traffic, you have to get through some traffic to get there, of course. And you find some open canyon roads and you have some fun. And you can use the power the bike has, or at least a good portion of it, or have it scare you a couple of times. You know, and or bringing this to the track, or any Super Sport or whatever you want to the track. The other type of riding that I do is a slower riding down the coast. And I mentioned this before. Demon Baby gets pissed. Not that it doesn't run, I mean, of course, and not that it's not gentle, it is. It's, you know what the bike likes to do, what the bike was designed to do, because that's when it feels the most precise, and that's when the engine starts to sing. And that's when the bike's reflexes reflect its purpose. And it's really fast canyon riding, at least on the road, you know, for this. It likes going fast on the highway too, but to be honest, I'm not one of these people that thinks bikes should be going 130 on the street on a regular basis. You'll get tempted and you'll launch it into space once in a while, but just, you know, there's a place for that. Yeah, that, you heard me. There's a place for that. Don't get smart there, Vet. I will blow your doors off if I have to. I'm just kidding. So getting back to the coast riding, it's slow. There's a lot of red lights. It's very scenic. You get that fresh ocean breeze. And San Diego has some very scenic coastal roads. There's one road in particular. It's a bit broken up, but kind of meanders on the coast, especially at the northern San Diego County. But oftentimes I'll head out on that road for a short ride, or just, you know, a very sort of low-key ride, just to get out on the bike and think. Or I'll have my wife get on the back with me, and we'll go for a slow cruise and just enjoy it. And this bike works fine for it, like I said, but it's not really its intent. I mean, I have the comfort passenger pad on the back of this thing, and that's very relative. It's not exactly what I'll call comfortable, and I feel bad for her. She's a tough girl, not one to complain. What I'm getting at is, this bike is not meant for a slow ride with your wife. It can do it, but it's just not meant for it. Put more weight up top, perched up high in the back like that, and you know, the slow maneuvers become a little more annoying, a little more tricky. The bike's a spaz, it wants to spaz out, and you want to let it do its freaky thing. So those are the coast rides, and I'm not going to buy a completely new motorcycle for that. It seems a bit ridiculous. So today I'm going to a place called Julian. I'm going to go play around a little bit, and I'm taking the appropriate tool for the job. But out east is a lot to see. There's vineyards out here, places to do wine testing. Julian actually is a small little town. It's a very quaint place to visit. She hasn't been out here yet, and the reason is because, to be honest, this bike isn't really designed for it. She'd have to suffer to get out here. And we go up to LA on this bike as well. And the key is you stop every 45 minutes to an hour, at most every hour. And you can get by, and you can do it in relative comfort. But you have to understand its restrictions. And someone's going to wear a backpack if you want to bring anything. So she turns into a camel, which she doesn't complain about too much. But it would be nice to have some bags that attach so that you didn't treat your wife like a camel. Be your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whoever the hell it is in the back. I remember during my schooling, there was this one girl in my class that, well, she had some sort of illness. No one really asked exactly what it was, but she had a dog. It was like a Labrador. The poor thing was her donkey, because it carried all of her stuff. I don't know if it was a seizure animal or what. I'm not sure what the extent of her medical condition was. But, you know, I always felt bad for that dog, and not that I'm comparing this dog to anyone's girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. But I'm just saying, treating a loved one as if they're your carrying tool is not an ideal situation. So we're getting on bags now. So we're talking about bags. I would never mar this bike up with bags. I can't do it. I won't do it. If you did it, they'd be constrained. They'd be those little pocket bags. They couldn't carry anything anyway. So we have the coast rides this bike isn't really meant for. Heading out east, the bike isn't really meant for those meandering trips out here where someone could be comfortable on the back. And then we go up to LA fairly often. We'd probably go up more often if we could split traffic up there in relative comfort. So now we get trips up to LA. In other words, I need something that can tour a little better. And here's where we get into the big decision tree. If I were to be very cost conscious and frugal about the situation, I would find myself a low mileage, probably Japanese bike that would hold up, that was in the touring category. You know, anything from a Yamaha to a Suzuki. Honda's got some touring bikes. I can say I'm not a fan visually of any of those. BMW also has plenty of touring bikes in the price range I was looking for. New ones and very nice ones. But once again, there's something about it. There's something about the compromise. It doesn't move me visually. And if I'm going to spend money on a motorcycle, I need to be visually moved. or moved in some way. It has to do something for me, something that this bike doesn't do for me. And for what this bike is built for, it does everything for me, or everything I care about. So over time, I ruled out getting a Japanese, touring bike or adventure style bike, sport touring bike, and over time I ruled out getting a BMW or another European version. Not a big fan, once again, visually, of the Ducati Multistrada, which I think is, technically an awesome bike, but I'm really going to spend 20 grand on a Ducati, something that shouldn't move you so much, to get something that I think visually just isn't satisfying. Look at this person. You guys are so kind. You really are. I would shake your hand if I could do that safely. Now, as long as you guys don't screw me here. See this gap? This is very dangerous what I did right now, guys. I'm in a gap right now. Now, in front of that gap, people on the left are going to jump in front of that on a regular basis. So that was pretty dangerous. I probably shouldn't have done that. Probably should have taken that stretch a little more slowly. I was basically driving through a huge realm of opportunity for other cars to jump into, which is dangerous, because see that guy out there? Opportunity. You see traffic moving in one lane, you want to go for it. That truck sounded like a friggin' motorcycle. Anyway, what are we getting at? What are we getting at? The thing's swimming around my head. What are we gonna get? Here, recently I was looking at a pickup truck, something American, because I feel like I should buy something that is gonna benefit this country. I know that some of the British motor bloggers, you talk about Triumphs, and they have some pride in the brand Triumph, and they should, because I think the range of motorcycles they produce, even at their cost point, visually, technically, it's a damn good product, and the British should be very proud of that product. I hope it's still manufactured there. If it's not, then I apologize to you guys. But I get a sense out there that there's some pride in the brand, and I respect having a pride in a brand that came from the hands of their peers and has a history. And so I was dabbling, what should I get for a car? And I was thinking about, American muscle car, and a Chevy truck or something of that nature. Something that would have some balls, a big engine, something a little more classic, less technical, but had some nostalgia, at least associated with the brand, even if it were more of a modern machine. At the same time, I think about a touring bike. I'm not going to get both. I'm going to do one or the other. And after I went through one of these periods of, losing a loved one, you start looking for things to distract you, things to keep you away. And a motorcycle can't do that. And I'll end the conversation there until the next video where I show what I got. But it'll be interesting. It'll be visually moving. And it'll be very different from this bike, which I think is important. I don't want to wonder which bike I should take, because they both do very similar things. I should know what the purpose of it is. And yeah, there's clearly a difference. And in the meantime, even this lane splitting is clearing my mind. It's forcing me to focus. It's reminding me of how nice these people are. They're sitting in traffic, some guy jamming by them, and they're going out of their way to move out of my way to keep me safe, knowing that in a way, from a certain perspective, they were getting screwed because someone is getting ahead of them, which human beings don't like. We're actually meant to race each other. That's what we're born for. That's why we keep progressing and taking over. The human virus, but it brightens your spirits. You get some sunshine, and I can't focus on much else right now because it wouldn't be safe. So if you need to take your mind away, and you don't already own a motorcycle, or you're wondering whether you should upgrade, because it will help you take your mind away. As long as you can afford to fix it, as long as you can afford to feed yourself and your family and put some money away, go for it, man. You only live once, at least that we're absolutely sure of. Every moment counts.